Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to our contemplative meditation. I am glad you are here with us. Welcome to Holy Ground Spiritual Center. You are where you need to be at this moment, at this time, and at your place. We always want to have our sacred space in a way that it encourages us, it inspires us, it creates space for us to hear as we prepare to act. It prepares us to connect. So I want to encourage you to create your sacred space in a way that is comfortable if you haven't already done so. I have an incense burning now. I'm close to this window so I can hear the sounds of the birds as they make music. I have my phone on Do Not Disturb. And I am present with you. All the things that I want to think about or need to do is not with me at this moment. At this moment, during this time, I am intentional about my connection with Spirit and God, Jesus, my chosen prophet, with open ears and open heart to listen and be able to hear any messages from my angels, my ancestors. I invite you to do the same. Now is the time to create space where you open your ears and open your heart and allow your spirit to just be free as you spend this intentional time connecting with the divine. Our contemplative meditation is a space to relax, reflect, and rest. It is an intentional space to be still. Many of us have so many things happening throughout our day where we don't always get that moment to just be still. Wonderful things can happen in the stillness. Wonderful things can happen in the stillness. So now is the time to get comfortable. We've created our sacred space. Now is the time to get comfortable in the posture that is going to be most effective for your connection with the divine at this moment. Today is 9/11. And many of us remember where we were during that time. So this contemplative meditation is going to require us to remember. And while we are still in our justice theme, it will be justice influenced. I'm going to tap the chime as we sit in a moment of silence and remember. We can remember where we were when 9/11 happened. We can remember where we were when any type of distraction or chaos or traumatic event happened around us. We can remember who was with us. And we can remember and recall who we wish was with us during that time. We can remember. We can remember the loved ones affected by the event. We can remember how we were affected by the event. Now is a time during this space where we can remember the loved ones who have transitioned into the spiritual realm. For we know the pandemic is still here. We know that hate that lives in this world has been showing itself. For we know that many things are happening. And for some of us, remembering that there was hope before is enough. And for some of us, we are still searching for a glimpse of hope. We are still searching for a shining light. We are still searching for the star that shines so bright. We are still searching for the thing within us that used to burn ever so brightly, but has been dimmed or turned off, as many of us cope with loss, with grief, with feelings of being alone, even when there are so many people around you. We can remember that hope once was here, and we can believe in a new hope. There are things that will happen to us in life that we may not understand. And even while we grieve and hope and look and wait for our answers, for our rescuer, there are things we can still do. First, we can be mindful that everything won't change. There are going to be some things that we will have to adapt or work around. And the quote that came to mind as I prepared for this contemplative meditation is from James Baldwin. Not everything that is faced can be changed, but nothing can be changed until it is faced. I'm reminded that as a person of faith, it requires action. And action looks different for many of us. For some, the action is intellectual, where we gather our thoughts and our scholarship and share. For some of us, the action is physical, where we put our bodies on the line, in the front, using our voice passionately. For some of us, the action is more behind the scenes, where we write letters, we write articles, we sign petitions. And there are some of us whose action is intercessory. We pray for those who are praying for themselves and don't know how to pray for themselves. We are praying for those who need help. We are standing and using our voice and pleading to the divine for answers, for hope, for resources, for life. There are many ways we can face life when it happens. But as I mentioned before, there are things that we will not be able to change. But the first action is awareness. As we sit in this sacred space or lay in this sacred space, if you are walking, if you are standing, the first action requires us to be open, with open ears, with open hearts, with open spirits, listening and feeling and watching and being in tune with the things happening around us, being vigilant, alert, and cautious. That is the first action. When I think about justice, when I think about advocacy, when I think about empathy, the truth is, my friends, we will not be here forever. So let's make it count. Let's make it count. We see that people are leaving this world. And back in the day when I was younger, I was, just thinking that older folk would leave this earth. But as I sit in the stillness of each day and look at the news that come across my devices, death of this body is taking more younger folk, more children, more youth, young adults away from here, more than I could ever imagine would happen during this time. We all can share the stories of how injustice has affected this nation. But there are things we can do. There are things that you can do. We can't afford to be silent. And I'm mindful it's not easy. Many of us have so many things to do each day just to live. Better yet, think about additional things we can do for others as we try to survive. But I tell you, if we are working together and thinking about someone other than ourselves, the energy of passion, the energy of love, the energy of hope and peace could just ring across this world and give us a renewal, a refreshing, a revival, if you will. That better days are coming. And for some of us, Better days have come. But as we live our lives in the busyness and the chaos of the things that pull us away from hope and joy and pleasure, many of us miss the moment. We miss the blessing that's right before our eyes. We miss the joy. We miss the hope. And for many of us, in our selfishness, we miss out on what it feels like to connect with others. And if you are not able to live or choosing to live in your purpose and in your calling, you are probably missing out on some sleep. Because like I mentioned before, each of us have our thing to do. And if what you are doing right now is not helping yourself and your mind, body, and spirit live in tune with the divine and in tune with this world, there's an opportunity for you to do something different. This quote is by Lao Tzu. The journey of 1,000 miles begin with a single step. Let us reflect on what that step means to us. What is your first step to be whole? Open your ears. Open your hearts. Allow your spirit to be free. Releasing anything that keeps you from moving with ease and with grace. Releasing the negative thoughts that try to tell you that you don't belong, that you have no gifts, that you are by yourself. For some, that is the first step. May you release the people in your life that is not doing you any good. And sometimes that is the most difficult part. And for some of us, it's just for a season. But as you take moments of stillness and moments of silence to listen, we will hear that for some of us, we need a clean slate. And joy will come. Pleasure will come. Peace will come. Hope will come. Justice will come. It's a new day. When you are aware of the things that keep you from living, when you are aware of the things that keep you from being a person in faith or living in your spirituality without action, for that is not life. Many of us are navigating this world, just moving with the motions, but we are not living. Because once we have finished all the things of that day, there are opportunities that we may have missed. There are glimpses of smiles that we may have missed. But as we prepare for this fall season, and you prepare for your harvest, whatever that looks like for you, know that you are going to have to walk around and move around alert, with open hearts and open minds, with vision that produces life, a vision, your vision, and you will get through it. So as we come to the end of this meditation, I am going to play the singing bowl, and we will have a moment to sit in silence as we reflect on our next step. Our next step. We will now embrace a moment of silence as we reflect and as we listen and as we prepare and as we connect with the divine of our understanding, knowing that we are not alone, whether we can see or feel people or not. Know that you are looked after and you are given some tools to help you look after yourself. And we are given tools to help look after others. In our future, when they arrive and embrace and understand their tools, we'll continue the cycle of life, of hope, of joy. I want to thank you for joining us for this contemplative meditation. I hope it created the perfect space for you to connect and reflect on your next as you prepare for the harvest season. And as we conclude our Justice Quarter, and I will be back with you all in October. I'm going to take some time to reflect on the next for holy ground as we prepare for our 3-year anniversary next month. So next week, Lama Bodhi Kakyu will offer the Holy Experience, the Holy Word, Christian edition for me. And I am grateful to have people and friends and colleagues who are able to give me a break. So know while I am away in discernment for holy grounds next, I'm thinking of you, those that follow us, those that share our info. I'm thinking of you as we move into the interspiritual quarter next month, because I'm reminded that every religion, each and every one of us, no matter what color we are, our age, no matter what intellectual ability, our class, we need each other. I cannot say that enough. And I want to challenge you. If there's someone that you know you haven't reached out to in a long time, and they have been on your mind, reach out to them. As I mentioned, we don't have much time. So I want to thank you for joining us, and thank you all for those who have made donations and those who make donations. Thank you all for those who will be joining us later to listen and share. Continue to look out for news and information on Holy Ground. I am super excited about our anniversary. It's 3 years for Holy Ground, and it will be 7 years for me in ordination. And for that, I am blessed and grateful for this journey. If you need prayer, reach out to us on our website, which is holyground.org, WHOLYGROUND.org. Reach out to us in any of our social media platforms, and I will pray with you. If you need a faith community, you are welcome here. It would be my total honor to help you navigate your faith journey. And if you are looking to volunteer for Holy Ground Spiritual Center, we need your gifts. Because having a church building and having a virtual church requires the same things. And we thank you in advance. Until next time, I'll see you next month. Peace and love and pleasure.